Hi everyone, it's Clyde at Vibrant Soap, and today I'm going to be making another lavender soap. And just like all my other soaps that I've made before, I like to play with the design and do something a little bit different. But in this case, I like the way that the heliconia flower soap that I made about 2 videos back, I like that so much that I wanted to do that same technique, but with the colors of purple and green and a white background to reflect the lavender in this soap. So the other thing I want to talk about today, especially for the beginners, is that sometimes, and it depends on a lot of factors, but sometimes we get a soap that's very sticky and it doesn't want to solidify like we want it to do. And if it doesn't, you may damage it when you take it out of the mold. So we talk about acceleration and we talk about soaps that get too hard, but this is the reverse of that. So I'm going to show you some techniques and what I did to get this whole soap out of the mold without corners of it breaking off and getting every single bar out of it that I wanted. So let's get started with the video and I'll show you what I did with that issue. Okay, soaping at about 77 degrees, and my kaolin clay is already in there, but it needs to be blended. Let's get the lye solution in there. Okay, I'm going to get the lavender essential oil in there. Okay, that is emulsified, and I want to pour the colors, some nice green. Let's dry mica in there just because I forgot to blend it with some batch oils first. It'll be fine with the frother. And the rest is going to be lightened with titanium dioxide. Blend that more if I need to. Right now I just want to get the colors blended. This is my lighter of the 2 purples. And the darker of the 2 purples. Let's see how this is behaving. I have never had problems with lavender essential oil. It's actually quite watery, so I think I will blend it some more. I want a decent trace on this because I'm layering the soap colors a bit. It's too liquidy, the colors just kind of sink into it. And I want lines of color. This is nice for a change. How are we doing here? Still a very light trace. This is a good opportunity to show you a light trace. It's not even really light trace. Yeah, it is. From my angle, I can see the little marks, little streaks of soap as I go like this on the surface, but I'd like it a little more thick. I've also found that with peppermint essential oil, it really does slow down trace. That should be good. So let me pour. Let's Pour some of this white. Then I want just a streak of this green, but let me check that. I want that thick as well. And I am going to use a spatula to help break the fall of this. I'm actually going to spread this on the surface too. Kind of have dedicated spatulas for the different colors so they don't mix as I pour them. Here goes the white. And it's pushing in more than I'd like. But you watch, it's going to be just fine. Get some more of the green. Save some for the top. Let me spread this. I think I want to ladle in the white so that it doesn't sink as much. And because of this design, it's okay if I get white on the edges of the mold. Okay, so let me put the green aside, and I want to start with the darker purple. It's kind of hard to see which one's the darker one now. This is it. I'm going to learn my lesson and use a spoon so it'll lay flat. And this will actually work really well with my design anyway. If the green that represents the leaves is a little more feathery, that will be just fine. Okay. Ladle on more white. While this batter is behaving. And then the lighter of the two purples. So not so much of the lavender soaps. I like to do it differently every time. And the final layer of white. layer almost all the way on there, I can pour the rest. Well, a lot of you say that I'm a calm soaper, and when things really behave like this, I'm even more calm. Plus the scent of lavender in here, I might just fall asleep. Okay, and then I want to do my hanger swirl, just up and down. Come over just a little bit and up. Down again. Up again. This will give like a herringbone design. And if you're wondering, I just did this in the heliconia soap, and I liked it so much that I wanted to do a different version of that. Okay, let's get a nice swirl. Don't want to lose any of this soap. No real plan, I'm just kind of spattering it on top of the soap. The green in there. It's nice to just have a little variation of the purples in there. Give it a little more dimension. Okay, let's see how will we do this. I think I want to kind of give a hint of the swirl on the inside of the soap. So I'm gonna, if I left it like that, it would be a little too busy, so I'm just gonna do this. Since the inside's going to look like feathers. And that green has a glimmer to it as well, so that looks really great. I can see it showing up. Okay then, so here's my latest lavender soap, and I'll bring you back for the cut. Actually, I think I'm going to do another swirl to this. Yeah, I like that even better. So we'll bring you back for the cut now. Okay, so I made this about 2 weeks ago, and it just didn't want to release from the mold. It was so sticky. But if I just showed you all of the times that the soaps just pop out really easy, I could give you a very Susie Homemaker version of how wonderful these things work all the time, and it's not always the case. But I want to show you how I dealt with that. So here's the mold I took the soap out of. You can see it's a bit messy because it was really sticky. The soap was really wet. So the best thing for me to do, based on my prior experience, is to just let it continue to saponify and get harder. But part of the process of the soap drying makes it easier to release from the molds. So the first thing I did was I noticed that it needed a little longer in the mold, and I just peeled back the sides just a little bit to get air surrounding the loaf. And then every 2 or 3 days I would peel it back a little bit more, really carefully, so that the air would solidify, I guess, the perimeter of the soap a little bit more. And I didn't want to rush it. So I continued to do that until I could basically see all the way down the side of the mold and this side of the mold as well. And then there was the bottom where it's really hard to get any air. So I kind of massaged the bottom of the mold a little bit to loosen it up, and then held it upside down to see if it would fall out. And it didn't for a while. And then I loosened it up a little bit more, kept it upside down, and then it just plopped out on its own eventually. So I'm really curious how this turned out now, because it's been beyond my time that I can stand waiting. And this is a lavender soap, and that's how I wanted it to come out. You remember the Heliconia soap? I liked that one so much that I wanted to pour it and swirl it with a hanger in the same way. And happy with how it came out. Good to see you again, soap. Now, I am going to show you something else. I'm going to cut these bars a little more thick, because part of the residual of unmolding a wet soap is you can see that the sides are a little bit more, not too much, but so I'm planning on planing this, and if you plane a soap, it gets to be a smaller bar. So if I cut it a little more thickly, I can plane the sides and still end up with a decent weight to these bars. So I'm kind of relieved, because the alternative is to rush and not be patient. And when you try to unmold these wet soaps, the corners on the bottom tend to pull out in chunks, and you end up with bars that have bits missing on the bottom corners, and that's not really what we want. But that came out nice, didn't it? I like that. I wanted the green on the bottom to simulate the growth of a lavender plant and to have the purple flowers up on top. That was the idea. And it smells like lavender in here. It smells great. Nice. You can see how thick they are in relationship to my hand. I mean, one can start to panic when the soap doesn't want to come out of these molds. But I had plenty on my plate. I made another soap in the meantime, and then lots of things happened here that needed my attention, so it's all good. Nice thin stripes of purple. You saw how I did that. I just made sure, first of all, that I mixed only a little bit of the purple and green, and then I poured it really thinly in layers. I think I even used the spatula or spoon to spread that little bit of color more flatly before I put the white over it, and repeated with color and put more white, and then ended up doing a very careful up and down and evenly spaced hanger swirl. Basically talking to myself to remember exactly what I did. So other than the soap being really wet, there's another concern is if the soap stays really wet, those can be the conditions where you get glycerin rivers, but I don't see any of that. So I'm very lucky and very happy about that. And I want to thank you for watching. I really wanted to maintain my soap video each week. And then my world turned upside down with my mom, but luckily I had a couple videos already loaded. And I just changed the intro to my last one where I told you all about my mom. And out came all this outpouring of love and condolences, and so much that it's really hard for me to respond to each of you. But you have no idea how every comment like that added to the healing process. Just felt like I was never alone. So thanks for that. And I'm still busy with that stuff, so if I don't comment back, you'll understand why. Oh, that's nice. So thank you very much. Thanks for visiting the website too. I just filled another order today, and that helps me to continue to make soap and make videos. And visit me on my Instagram. And I also have a Facebook, and I'll try to put the how to find that on there too. But until the next time, see you later. Okay, bye now.